Today is April 15th. On April 13th, there is a 10 millimeters of rain, and it has created a perfect condition for sowing. You can see the soil now is fluffy. So you can see the soil is extremely fluffy. It's very good, okay, for any sowing activity. Today we are trying to demonstrate how to grow a cover crop, and we are trying to demonstrate how to grow ragi in a rain-fed conditions. There is no irrigation, of course there is no irrigation, and land has been ploughed 2 days back. There is a 10 millimeters of rain. This is a perfect condition. This is the condition farmer should wait for. That is the first problem farmer faces. If that doesn't come, so your question could be, if the rain is not there, so what will happen? Technically he loses the crop. So therefore, it's amazingly critical to understand nature. When it is going to rain, immediately after the rain, what you should do, how we should do, and how they are going to seed, and how they are going to grow crops. In these 2 acres, first step in growing ragi crop should be to grow a cover crop. Ragi is a monocot. It requires a lot of nitrogen and a lot of soil organic carbon. We need to put that one back before the crop is grown. So we are trying to grow a cover crop. It is 45 days to 60 days, maybe sometimes you can go up to 80 days depending upon the rain conditions. After that, the cover crop is put back into the soil, then ragi sowing happens. We are expecting that to start around July last week. That entire process starting now till the crop gets harvested, we want to document and to show you that how critical it is to understand the ecology, how critical it is to understand when it is going to rain, how critical it is to understand the soil condition for sowing, what it takes to make these decisions, and these are the decisions farmers make day in, day out in the process of growing food for us. Before seeding, what we have done is, this has been divided into 4 parts. The part 1, 2, 3 and 4, these are the blocks. In Kannada it is called Tunduglu, but these are the blocks, 2 acres divided into half an acre each. The fundamental philosophy behind a cover crop is nitrogen, which is there in the air. Can it be captured and put back into the soil? First problem. Carbon dioxide, which is there in the air, can we put back into the soil as a soil organic carbon? Once these 2 things are done, the microbes in the soil are going to act on the soil organic carbon and convert into plant absorbable NPK. That is very, very important aspect of a cover crop. So the question is, what decides what is the cover crop, what seeds we need to use, how we need to do that, is very, very critical in the process. So the one part of the decision is combination of seeds we need to use. So if you really look at the seeds here, the seed combination for a cover crop is generally combination of a monocots and dicots. You can use any seeds available with us, but preferably Alasande and dhaincha. They are amazing crops to fix nitrogen back and create a soil organic carbon required. So you can see here they have been already pre-mixed. So now it is ready to sow. Sowing of the seed is a ritual. Now of course there are tractors, machines, everything, but it is an art. We can easily learn, practice it, but it's a beautiful art. So you generally take a fistful of seeds like this, and you do a generally right to left swing to get the seeds broadcast. Now, like for example, like this. So this swing, you can see, you keep moving in a, let me say, very well coordinated steps, and we can do a very good broadcasting of seeds. All your team also moves along with you. Single person also can do. If you have multiple people, it's very good. So it is called sun kalu. If you want to get this one little bit lighter in the seed ratio, what you need to do is dap kalu, means you have to put legs like this, rather than like this. So therefore, the seed ratio gets adjusted automatically, but your hand swing is the same constantly. You have to do the hand swing. So it's very, very important. We understand this aspect of broadcasting. Of course, machines can probably do better, but it's a beautiful art. We all should actually learn, practice. Every farmer knows this, and not many consumers know this. So this is an attempt to teach them how the cover crop actually gets grown. Yeah, this is a reverse swing. You keep walking on the same path you came, but others will turn around, and keep swinging. So that's how you even spreading of seeds actually gets guaranteed, or else there is no way the seed spreading can be guaranteed. So this technique is very, very simple. All of us can practice, our children can practice, and of course walking barefoot in a tilled land is a beautiful experience. We all can experience and feel good about it. So this kind of cultivation, where you start with a cover crop and then you go with a crop where multiple crops can be grown in the same plot. For example, along with ragi, we will grow 6 crops. The 6 crops actually has got both monocots and dicots in them, balancing the nutrition perfectly for the farmer throughout the year, delivering a balanced nutrition to the farmers and also we as a consumers. So from morning what we have done is, we have done a seed rate of around 30 kgs per acre. Now it is approximately 2.5 to 3 acres. Now we have taken a quintal of seeds, which is 100 kgs of seeds, and now we have broadcasted. Of course, in a hand broadcasting we have done. Machine also can be done. But also it's very important to know the tools to use. So this is a rotavator, So it doesn't plow. It doesn't plow actually. You can see it has got blades. You can see here, it has got simple blades. And when the tractor works, they go up, and tractor moves along with the PTS, power transmission system, and they just mix the soil. Just basically it is doing like this it's doing, So there are a lot of tools which are, let me say, bull driven also, but tractor driven is most preferred. And this is not plowing, it is just tilling on the soil. It is called a rotavator. There are a lot of tools. Tillers are there, discs are there, rotavators are there. There are a huge number of tractor tools these days available, and mechanization of entire farming activities are possible. In this case, it is a rotavator which is going to mix the soil and seeds in a proper way. Technically, what is the seed weight? That much of soil should fall on the seed to be optimal growth. 90% of the cases it will be taken care. So the germination rate we expect is 90-95%. 100 seeds, if you put 90 to 95% should germinate. And of course, given the conditions, if a rain happens, all of it, germination rate depends. Again, it is a rain-fed agriculture. Let me say you are standing there, you stamp on it, seed. Actually, seed goes into the soil. That's how it is. Similar action will happen if a tractor goes on it. The seeds are not going to get destroyed. Yeah, traditionally, I think the way it was done is, in Canada we have got halbe. After plowing using the bulls, there's a tool called halbe. It has got around 10 to 12 teeth. And you can tie that one behind a bull. We can pull it. That will do the same thing, halbe. Now, of course, usage of bulls is coming down. Scarcity of manpower, I think mechanization taking over. The approach would be to optimally mechanize farming and get the required output. Of course, Tractors are going to compact the soil. That also we need to keep it in mind. And bull plowing is very, very good not to compact the soil. Of course, we have to use machinery as there are no people to use bulls. Now we are going to, tractor is going to go from east to west or west to east direction. Okay, it is going to plow, and that's it. And wait for rain gods to get the one more rain in summer, and you will get a cover crop. Now we are trying to mix with soil and create a optimal conditions for seeds to germinate. Today is 23rd April. We are preparing this land to grow ragi in the month of July. On 15th of April, we have sown the cover crop. The cover crop sowing had to be timed. So Ashwini rain, Ashwini ಮಳೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, it started on April 13th. Onset happened, and on that day it rained. So land was prepared. On 15th of April, the sowing happened. We are expecting Bharani Male, which is around 30th to around 30th of April. Onset going to happen. It is supposed to be good. This Ashwini and Bharani, they are supposed to be good summer rains, where some of the agricultural activities like plowing, tilling, cover crop sowing, all of it can be timed. It's a fundamental aspect of any farming activity. Prepare lands on summer rains for a sowing season, at least in this part of the country, that is southern peninsula, southern part of Karnataka. The sowing starts in June, July time frames for main crops, and there are summer crops. Okay, using the summer rains, we can grow green gram, we can grow black gram, okay, and of course we can grow cover crops. That's what we are doing here. If you closely look at it, the entire sowing has been done through hand broadcasting, and of course we have used the tractor tiller rotavator to mix the seeds and soil. You can see here, as part of a cover crop, we can try to identify what is grown and what is not grown here. After seeding, it is very, very important actually we observe what is happening in the soil, have the germination has happened or not. So we have mixed approximately around 6 varieties of seeds. Okay, you can see here. So this is Tarani indre Alasande. Okay, so this you can see here, Senabu, little bit of a Huruli, black gram, sorry, horse gram, and I'm trying to identify dhaincha. Yeah, little bit of a I'm trying to identify dhaincha. Yeah, this is dhaincha. This is dhaincha here, Huruli here, and I'm trying to identify Sasive. Sasive is here. So we are able to get some kind of a germination possible. Maybe around 80% germination has happened here in the soil. What you are seeing, soil preparation was good. 80% germination is good. Seed rate we did was 30 kgs per acre mixed seeds. So majority of most of the mixed crops or mixed seeds they have grown. And if you really look at the way it has grown, it is just amazing. Why this happens is we need to time the crops very well. Cover crops also needs a lot of timing linked to when the rain happens, when the plowing happens, when the seeding happens, when the subsequent rain happens. If suppose, let us assume if the rains on 13th April had not happened, we would not have sown on 15th April. After 13th April, we were fortunate, we got one more rain, which is on April 17th, and one more rain on April 20th. They are all summer rains, Ashwini, and it has been good for us. Rain gods have been extremely happy on us. You can see the soil, no? Soil is soft, fluffy, and this is a very, very right, let me say, condition for seeds to germinate and of course establish themselves as a cover crop. This is the 21st day of our cover crop. In summer, there are 5 rains. First rain onset starts on 31st March. That was Revati. End of Revati, that is on 13th of April, we had first rains. On the train, land was plown, and on Ashwini, onset of Ashwini on 14th of April, we have sown the seeds. This is a cover crop. On 17th we had rains, 20th we had rains, 22 we had rains, 27th we had rains, and on 3rd we had rains, of May. The Ashwini onset, which happened on 14th of April, it ended on 27th, and onset of one of the very important summer rains is Bharani. So we are in the midst of a Bharani rain. It has rained very, very well, and you can see the beauty of a cover crop. What cover crop is doing here, you can see here, it's beautifully coming up, and what it is doing is, what you call in your mind as a weed has been replaced by a crop. Generally what happens when you leave land fallow, you would see weeds, it's perfectly fine, but is it possible to engineer what you need as a cover crop? That's what we have done. We have been doing in Akshakalpa for a while. If you really look at the crops here, if I sit here and start looking at the crops here, so this is Senabu. You can say, I'll just pluck and show you, it's okay. This is Senabu. This is dhaincha. You can see this is dhaincha, and it is going to set a lot of nitrogen fixing happening. This is Ellu. This is Ellu crop. This is Huruli. This is Huruli. And let me try to look at Sasive. Here it is Sasive. This is Sasive. So we had mixed 5 crops. I think things are coming out fine. And also, this is Tharani. Tharani is Alasande. This is Alasande. So all the 5 to 6 crops, they are coming out very, very well. But we were lucky that we had amazing summer rains. All the summer rains, starting from Revati, to Ashwini, and Bharani. All of them, they have blessed us almost every 3rd to 5th day. There have been slight showers and making this entire cover crop possible. In conventional system, this thought is replaced by using chemical fertilizers coming from outside. It is not required. If you really do farming well, chemical fertilizers are not required, absolutely not required. See the challenge, no? We are growing a cover crop here, sequestering what is there in the air and putting back to the soil for bacterial action. a neighboring farm, okay, you would see the land is left fallow. Sun is beating down the soil. And of course, okay, there is no soil organic carbon, soil organic matter being created to put back to soil. If you don't create it, how do you put back? You need not do anything. We have put a crop and the crop is working fine, seems to be working fine. It has come one of the beautiful cover crops possible. You can see here. Lot of questions on conventional farming. Is it scientific? It is science. What you are seeing is science in action. Our inability to have patience, our inability to not to go a little bit deeper and make sure this information percolates in extension is not happening. Extension programs have failed. That's the reason people don't grow cover crops. There's no other reason. Growing cover crops is science. You can replace conventional fertilizers. You can replace your NPK, your 17-17-17 or whatever you feel like. Only thing which is required is some patience, understanding of the nature. For example, summer rains, can we understand and start putting cover crops? A lot of people tell, oh, I don't have irrigation, I can't grow cover crops. That's not required. We are not even irrigated once. We started growing cover crops. See, beautifully it can grow. Of course, yes, if the rains doesn't come on time, there will be some hit on the cover crop. I agree, I acknowledge. But that hit is okay, no. What is wrong with it? And also, best way to test soil formation is, let me say in the middle of this one, can we take some soil and see? So you can see here, beautifully you can pick the soil and see it is. This is how soil should never be hard. Soil should be aerating. Microorganisms needs a very clear moist environment. They don't need a lot of, they don't need what you call lot of water. What you saw here is a perfect system for microorganisms to thrive. Just about moist. It is also porous and it is not sticking. So that's how it should be. This is a red sandy loamy soil. Of course, you can also have a clay soil structures. You can still grow cover crops. They need not be like this, but they will be still porous. Soil should breathe. Soil should never become hard. Go and see any conventional farms. Soil becomes very, very hard on the top. It's bad for farming. If a soil doesn't breathe, crops won't breathe. If a crops won't breathe, then there is a problem. So all the problem starts from there. Microbial action stops, water percolation stops. Then you see a lot of guys coming and selling you agricultural inputs. Do this, do that, do that. That's not required. So therefore, keep the soil breathable. It's very, very important. From a overall farming ecosystem. First step in creating a breathable soil is growing cover crops. This crop now a month old. So last time when I showed, these are hardly 2 inches. Now we can see in a week's time how much it has grown. This is Senabu. Along with this one, we are also see this is dhaincha. Along with this one, you'll also see Huruli. Huruli is horse gram. You can see this is horse gram. And also I will find some oil seeds here. Ellu. Ellu is here. Yeah, this is Ellu. You can see this is Ellu. And Sasive is here somewhere. Sasive is sarsu. Sasive, it might be hard to find because we will use very less quantities. But overall, all these 5 seeds been put into soil a month back. Now we can see the entire 2 acres is covered by greens. And this is a way we need to manure soils. Cover crop calms down the soil temperature, reduces the oxidation of minerals, okay, from the soil, because it is pulling the temperature down and increases the bacterial activity. This crop, anywhere between 45th day to 60th day, we will be putting this one back to the soil. When we put this one back to the soil, what would happen is, all this biomass, which is technically a carbon, goes back to the soil, and every crop which is being sown here, if you really pluck this one and see here, you can see, if somebody can come near, you can see nodules are forming. The formation of nodules, basically it is fixing nitrogen. All the nitrogen which is available is in the air. These cover crops can fix that one into soil. For any other crop we want to grow, be it ragi, millets, or a tomato, or a beans, or a vegetables, anything we want to grow, this kind of a cover crop growing is very, very critical and important.
Cover crop is not only for soil health. Cover crops gives lot of ecosystem services. For example, look at here, there is a lot of pollinators, and it is a host for many pollinators, and also the beneficial insect like ladybird beetle. We can see thousands of lakhs of ladybird beetles in this cover crops. So basically, this cover crops is not only for soil health management, it is also gives other ecosystem services like pollination, the host for many beneficial insects. So hence cover crop is a integral part of of soil health management, and also to ensure the overall ecology. So for example, look at here, these are all ladybird beetle nymph stage. There are different stages. So this is a nymph stage of early stage of ladybird beetle, this one, and also there are a lot of beetles here. So maybe see, look at here, yeah, this is ladybird beetle. Yeah, now you can able to see here on the flower. So a lot of pollinators like beneficial insect like ladybird beetle. So this is also part of cover crop. See, this is, I have a plant, cowpea plant. Look at here, there is a lot of aphids. It's infected with aphids. Aphids is a sucking pest. Basically, it sucks the sap from the main plant. Okay, this is a harmful insect. This is not good. There is a insect called ladybird beetle which feed on this. In a day, it can able to feed around 50 to 200 aphids in a day. So imagine that there is a control mechanism in the nature itself. There is a symbiotic relationship between the harmful and the beneficial insect. So, but we need to understand this nature better through cover crops. So this is also one of the benefits, or this is also one of the benefits of cover crops, not only soil health management. See, look at here. See how many root nodules are there. These are the factory of nitrogen basically. It is a symbiotic relationship with this plant and the microbe in the root nodule. This is a microbe called rhizobium. It fixes the atmospheric nitrogen and pumping into the soil. It's kind of a nitrogen factory. So look at how many root nodules. So this is a best way we can trap atmospheric nitrogen. So we can't take the nitrogen as it is. We need some media. So rhizobium is one of the media through cover crops. Look at how many root nodules. So more root nodules means more nitrogen fixation. So hence in 1 acre of a cover crop we can able to harvest around 80 to 100 kgs of nitrogen. This is almost 4 bags of urea. So hence before taking into any ragi crop, before taking into main crop like ragi, so one cover crop is more than enough to harvest 100 kilos of nitrogen in 1 acre of cover crops. through this root nodules like nitrogen fixation. It's basically fixing atmospheric nitrogen through rhizobium, through these root nodules. See, normally we can ask why cover crops. Cover crops has many advantages, many useful uses. For example, cover crops normally it fixes the nitrogen. That is one of the benefits through rhizobium. Okay, for that we need some kind of a legume crops. For example, sunnhemp, dhaincha. So these are important legume crops where we can fix nitrogen through from the atmosphere. That is one benefit. Okay, second, see, for example, there will be some outbreak of pest in the previous crop, the pest or maybe disease, outbreak of pest and disease in the previous crop. We need to break that cycle. So, but how we need to break that cycle? Not by putting one more commercial crops, through cover crops. For example, crops like sesame, mustard seeds, and also the sorghum. So these are the crops, cover crops, where we can act as a biofumigation. That means through biofumigation, we can break down the pest and disease life cycle. That is also another benefits of cover crops. Okay, next, third one. So immediately we need to cover the soil because we need to avoid exposed to sun. Soil should not expose to sun. To that, we need to cover the land by using some cover crops. For example, horse gram, cowpea. So these are the cover crops where immediately they cover the land and avoid direct exposure to the sun. So this is another benefits of cover crops. One is nitrogen fixation. For that we need sunnhemp and dhaincha. And second is biofumigation, is nothing but breakdown of pest and disease cycle. For that we need mustard, sesame, and also bajra and also sorghum. And the third is to cover land with a biomass. For that we need horse gram and cowpea. So these are the three important benefits of these cover crops. For that we need to combine the cover crops. So starting from monocots, dicots, oil seeds, so we need to combine. So with our in Akshay Kalpa we are recommending around 20 to 25 kg of seeds in 1 acre of mix of all these cover crops. See, ideal combination of this cover crops is vary from land to land. For example, think that I have red soil with gravelly, with a low rainfall, like situation like Tiptur. Tiptur is more of a red soil, gravelly, with a 680 millimeter annual rainfall. For this area, sunnhemp is a prominent crop. Around 80% of the seed should have a sunnhemp. Okay, that's very ideal for this climate, for Tiptur climate, like 680 mm of rainfall in a year, with a red soil, with a gravelly. For this climate, sunnhemp should be the majority. Around 80% of the seed of a cover crop should be sunnhemp. Okay, I will give another ecosystem. That is a soil which is little bit of more of a clay soil, moist, with little bit of more rain. In that area, we should have a more of a dhaincha. So dhaincha should be more in the moist or in the clay soil. So then based on the soil, we need to select the cover crops. Why cover crops? Cover crop is not to harvest food. Cover crop is not to harvest food for us. Cover crop is to food for soil. So that's the difference basically. In Ragi, we do Akadisalu, is a multi-layer cropping system where we are harvesting crops for us and also for soil and also for livestock like cows and buffaloes and goats. So that is a different ball together. Cover crops is for it's a good food for the soil. So we can increase the soil carbon, we can increase the soil soil organic matter by doing cover crops. By 41st, between the from the day of sowing till day of integration into the soil should be somewhere around 45 to 60 days, 60th day. Between that, we need to integrate into the soil by doing rotary or rotavator. So that's very important. Basically, indirectly we are adding biomass to the soil, where we can increase the soil organic matter and also the water holding capacity, and also we can increase the microbe population in the soil. These are additional advantages of cover crops.
You could see the entire crops here, which is which we are calling as a cover crop before any food crops are grown, was grown in summer rains. 5 rains were good enough to grow this cover crop. You can see the density of the crop. Fundamental way of doing any farming is start with a green manure. What you see is a green manure and amazing crop in summer rains. Lot of people have this view, in summer rains we can't grow cover crops. We can do beautiful cover crops in summer rains. You can see here we are not irrigated. This is just summer rains. Maybe we were lucky, but even 2, 3, 4 rains in summer is good enough. In 54 day, you can see here, if I just walk in here, I actually get submerged in this entire crop. So it's almost, I am 6 feet tall. The crop has grown almost 6 feet, you can see here. What you see, this crop you see is what is called as dhaincha, and you can see little bit of Alasande, little bit of a Huruli, little bit of oil seeds, all of it put together. This crop has grown amazingly well. In some places you can see more of a dhaincha, some places you can see more of Alasande. This is how a cover crop should be grown. Dense and things which you can give back to soil. This is absolutely critical in the process of farming. This entire crop is grown in 54 days and monsoon is starting today. So in Indian calendar, Indian farming calendar, this is how it is. Mrugashira is going to go till June 21st, 22nd. By the time this entire biomass needs to get into soil. Putting this biomass back to soil, maybe we need to, probably today we need to put this entire biomass back to soil, and by maybe around 15 to 30 days, depending upon the rain conditions, we should allow this biomass to get integrated into soil.
So the standing crop assessment of a productivity is a critical. Any farmer can do assessment, productivity assessment in a standing crop. No need to go to any science or any scientific community or any scientific institute. So it's always better to know assessment of a productivity for understanding how much I may get the production. For example, we are in the cover crops area, and how much biomass I am going to put into the soil. To know that, I need to assess productivity. So hence the standing crop assessment is very critical to understand the productivity. This is a 1 meter square, and you know that 1 acre is 4,000 square meter. So that means if you take this as a sample of 1 meter square, and in 1 acre we have to take minimum of 5 samples, and even up to take you can 10 samples also. 10 sample is almost ideal. Even we can start with 5 samples in a 1 acre of area. So that means if you get an average of 1 meter square area of assessment, then you can multiply with the 4,000 square meter, then will come to 1 acre. If I have 1 hectare, that means 2.5 acre, then I can multiply with 10,000 square meter. So then I can easily get that area of assessment. For example, I have 5 acre. So that means the when 1 square meter is, for example, in 1 square meter is 10 kilo. 10 kilos of cover crop I may get. So 10 kg into 4,000. So that is the total volume of cover crops in 1 acre. So say look at this, it's very simple jugad idea. So and we have used waste pipe and with the elbows. So we have cut that 1 meter pipe and use that elbow to make this tools ready. So very simple tool, and you can make it your own in the farm itself, and it's very simple tool and to assess productivity. So or else we can use it from the own in the reaper also. The waste reaper also we can make it this kind of a tool, or maybe you can use the PVC pipe also. So anything we can use it. It's very simple tool with 1 meter. So basically we have to take the proper measurement of 1 meter of 4-1, and you can use the elbow. So very simple and it's very easy to handle. So what you have to do, you have to stand and you have to throw randomly. You have to throw on the crop. So it will go, and then you have to harvest that 1 meter square area, and you have to take a measurement separately. So that is the process of doing the assessment. For example, in paddy also we can do, even you can do it in the wheat also. Any crop you can use this as a tool. So I will throw now. So just a random. Right, it will go now. Then I have to go there. Then I have to keep that in the down. Then I have to harvest. Yeah. Harvest. Tanne kudal tanne. ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರೋದು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇದನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ yeah. So now they are harvesting of crop which is inside that 1 meter square. So that's very critical. That might take some time, but we have to be very careful to harvest entire crop which is inside that 1 meter square. Why we have to throw randomly? Because just to avoid this bias. So if I throw randomly, so that will goes. If I go and if think that there is an area which is good crop, then I may have some bias. So to avoid that bias, then just I have to randomly have to throw. So that we have to do it. Yeah. So now is ready. So he has harvested. So this is a 1 meter square biomass. So this is the total biomass which we have harvested in 1 meter square, and then you have to take a measurement. So like that you have to do maybe around 5 to 10 samples in 1 acre. So this is the first sample you have collected. So always you have to do Z shape. So always you have to walk in a 1 acre of a Z shape. So then we can avoid the bias. So now from the point 1, then I will throw to the point 2. Come. Now this is point 2, sample number 2. Now again same process you have to do it again. So you have to harvest the crop which is inside that 1 meter frame, and you have to segregate separately. And we kept all the samples separately just for understanding. And you have to take measurement separately, or maybe you can take the whole also. So we know that this, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So currently we have 7 samples. That means it's a 7 meters square. So we'll wait for another three samples, and then we can take the measurement separately, or combining all 10 samples, then we can take a measurement also. Either way, it works well. Make it 4. Cut ಮಾಡಿ. How much it is? 4.88. So 4.88 kilo is the first sample weight. Yeah. And now you are taking the second sample. So this is 4.04. 4 kg, 4 grams. And now third sample. Four kg, 200 gram. So totally we have taken 10 samples so far, and we have taken all the measurements separately. Then you have to take an average of all 10 samples, multiply by 4,000. Then you will get a total biomass of a acre. So that's how we need to calculate this productivity of a cover crop or any other standing crop. Okay, with this productivity assessment, and finally we came to know that it is average of the one square meter is 4 kilo, 10 grams. So that is the average we got by doing this assessment. If I convert it into 1 acre, then this is around 16 tons of fresh biomass we are going to incorporate it into the soil. We are 16 tons of fresh biomass we are going to add into the soil. That's the assessment we got by doing this assessment.
There is a difference between tilling and plowing. Plowing is not good for farming. What plowing does is, it takes the soil which is 1.5 feet, 2 feet below, and brings it up and puts the soil on the top to down. It is not required. Tilling is absolutely simple way. It keeps the top soil in the top only, just scatters the soil and mulches it. Doing this mulching is very, very important. This is a tool attached to a tractor. You can attach to any tractor, and each farmer need not buy tractors. It's a lot of trend on buying tractors. Don't buy. In a village you have 1 or 2 tractors, rent them. That is much easier. This tool is a rotavator. And here you see here lot of blades organized at a 90 degrees each. When it rotates, so it pulverizes the soil like this. You can see here soil is pulverized, and it mixes the mulch into soil. Even if you are not mixing mulching into soil, rotavators can be easily used. They are available. You can rent a rotavator if you have a tractor. Need not buy a rotavator. So lot of agricultural implements and tools are there, which most probably I would recommend you rent. Don't buy. It is not going to make sense. So this rotavator, what it does is this amazing crop, which is a biomass which we have generated from last 54 days. This needs to be put back to soil. This cannot be put back to soil by plowing. Lot of people use the discs. It is not a good idea. Not at all a good idea. Don't use the discs as a tool to mix this one into soil. It's a very, very bad idea. In fact, using a disc in agriculture should be banned. It's an extremely bad idea to expose soil to sunlight, okay, in such a way. And of course, this is entire thing is copied from Western guys, what they are doing, and somehow we copied here. We have been tilling for generations. Of course, we can upgrade ourselves to using tractors, but continue to till. If possible, I recommend not to even use tractors, but lack of labor, all of it, using of tractor has become almost mandatory.
Today is 25th June 2025 and 17 days after cover crops integration into the soil. And we have integrated cover crops on 8th June 2025 and we have done one baseline of soil testing. As part of the soil test which we had done in the last baseline, and we want to do it the same test this time also. Starting from we have made it to 3 line items. One is the physical properties of the soil, which includes pH, electrical conductivity, and soil organic carbon. So, and chemical analysis of all macro and micronutrients, starting from NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, manganese, ferrous, zinc, molybdenum, boron. All those 6 are under chemical analysis. And the third is heavy metals, and we have taken 4 heavy metals, and those also we are doing it as part of the soil testing. So, only physical properties, chemical properties, and the heavy metals. It is very important to do a soil test, because I know what is there in the soil in terms of physical properties, in terms of chemical properties, in terms of heavy metals in the soil. So, to assess, to know the exact value, based on that we can rectify the corrections. So, we can amend the soils based on the soil results. So, hence we have to do soil test. In Akshakalpa we do 4 times in a year, every 3 times, every quarter, every 3 times we do one test. So, that is what we have do as part of the testing, just to understand the soil profile. So, this ragi plot, this is a 2-acre piece, we made into 4 plots, and we are in plot number 51, that is a 50, 49 and 48. There are 4 plots of this 2-acre, we made it to 4 plots. What we have to do, in every plot we have to collect at least 2 to 4 samples in a Z shape, and then we have to collect 1 kilo of soil in every test. Then you have to take all 2 to 4 kilos of soil, and we have to do a quartering method of segregations basically. So, then we have to take 1 kilo of soil for the testing. So, that is what we have to do in a soil testing. The first baseline soil test we have done on February 2025. We got a result, and the organic carbon was around 0.6 now, and yeah, 0.62 is the organic carbon. And now we are 25th June 2025. We have to do one more soil test, and then we have to see the difference. What is the difference between the baseline and the post integration of cover crops? We will show how to do a soil sample here today, and we will take a sample and we will send it for testing. First we have to do V shape of a 15 centimeter depth. But for that we have a spade with us, and we will dig the soil with in a V shape manner with a 15 centimeter depth. So we have a scale with us now. We'll take a measurement. Then we have a spatula. So this is a scraper basically. We have to scrap on the both the side. So then you have to collect this, almost 1 kilo of soil from this, unit. So this is a white cloth bag, and it's always better to collect in a white cloth, not on the color bags. Color bag may have some other heavy metals. So hence to avoid that, always we should collect the soil in the white bag. So this is ready. One sample unit is ready. Then you have to collect another 3 samples. This in plot number 51. So the one of the important element in soil testing, especially on the sampling, the where and when we have to do sampling. When is always before pre-monsoon and the post-monsoon is very ideal to get the soil. So below the trees we should avoid, the water stagnant area we should avoid, and just close to the manure pit or a compost heap you should avoid. These are the 3 areas we should avoid to take the sample. So now we are mixing. We have taken 3 kilos of soil. This is called as quartering method. So we have to make mix, and we have to remove all the stones and anything you have to remove. Then you have to mix it first. Then you have to make a circle. Yeah. So now circle is ready. Once its circle is ready, then you have to make a mark with a plus. Now he is doing a plus mark. Yeah. Now he has done a plus mark. So then after doing plus mark, then you have to remove the 2 quadrant, opposite quadrants. So yeah, now he is removing the first one, and he is removing another one opposite to that. Yeah. So now he has removed 2 quadrant. Basically he has made it to 50%. Yeah. Now he has to mix with these 2 quadrant soil. Now they are mixing the soil. While mixing, we have to remove all the stones also. Yeah. So now they will make one more circle again. This has to do it until we will get a sample ready. The sample size is 1 kilo. So until that we have to do this quartering method. Yeah. Now he is doing a plus mark again. Yeah. Then he have to remove the 2 quadrant. Yeah. Now he has removed the 2 quadrant again. Yeah. Now again he is mixing. So he is mixing again. So this soil sample maybe it might be 1 kilo now. Then it is ready. This soil sample is ready for plot number 51. This we have to do it for all the plots. So because we made into 4 plots of this 2 acre of ragi, then we have to do it, collect the soil sample for plot number for every plot, and we have finished this plot number 51 now. Then you have to do it 50, 49 and 48 plots. So once it is soil sample is ready, then you have to take this soil into one bag, that is again white bag. Yeah, now they are placing the soil sample into the bag now. Yes, this is ready now. So pen kodi. So this is ready, soil sample is ready, and now on the bag we have to put mark. So because for the identifications, we have to put a mark. So what I will do basically, and this is our R&D3. I will put R&D3. R&D3 plot number 51. Today's date is 25th June. So this is very important for the identifications. So when we are doing it, in which plot and which place. So these are the very important, and if you know the survey number, that is also very important. You can put a survey number also.
So what we have done, okay, last let me say 70-75 days, okay, is on 15th of April, what we had sown a cover crop, we have put that one back to soil on, okay, 8th of, okay, June, okay, in the beginning of, okay, rains, okay, for Mungaru, that is monsoons. So you can see amount of biomass out here, it is quite huge, okay, and approximately we calculated from calculation scientifically, every acre, okay, 2 acres, okay, under cultivation, 2.5 acres, per acre we produced close to 16 tons of soil organic carbon. But you need to really understand what it means. The 16 tons of the biomass, not all of it will convert into soil organic carbon. Earlier tests, what we have done, okay, in the field, so indicates that soil organic carbon in this soil was 0.6%, okay. Now, we have added 16 tons of biomass, okay, into this soil by growing cover crops. So we need to answer based on various combinations, permutations, what would be the soil organic carbon in this soil, okay, maybe if we test it now. Just now we are doing sampling, okay, to test the soil organic carbon. So approximately, okay, you will be adding, okay, anywhere between 0.2% to 0.3% additional soil organic carbon. That is the best case scenario. That's the complexity of soil organic carbon. It is not one time. It is impossible to increase soil organic carbon exponentially. It is not possible. Action of sun, action of microbes, action of crops, action of human beings, okay, make soil organic carbon disappear. So from a 0.6%, the 16 tons of biomass which we have added, it can take the soil organic carbon anywhere between 0.7%, okay, to 0.9%. That's the best case scenario is 0.9%. Worst case is 0.7%. to increase, okay, in our calculation, okay, soil organic carbon by 1 to 1.5%, okay, it needs, okay, in the worst case scenario, it needs around 10 years of grounded work of putting the cover crops back, growing the crops, put the cover crop back, grow the crops, continue this journey for 10 years. Best case scenario is probably we can take up to 0.6 to, okay, let me say 6%, okay, in 10 years. It is possible, okay, but it requires a lot of effort. Other aspect of farming is soil organic good enough? Soil organic carbon good enough to grow crops, okay? Is it the only thing we need to do? No. We need to still prepare manure, okay, and put that manure back. Approximately, we believe, very quality manure with little bit of a cow dung and agricultural waste put together, we need to prepare a good quality manure. Per acre, we need around 10 tons of manure. So we need to get that manure and put it in, okay, the land, okay, like this in a humps, okay, small heaps here and there. Now we can see here there is one heap here, okay, manure has been put. So this is a good quality manure. You can see because a little bit of weeds are there, it is fine, okay. It's a very good quality manure, okay, which we have prepared. So this needs to be, okay, kept in mind. And once we have all these manure piles put together, you need to protect this manure. Manure cannot be, okay, left like that, okay. So the way we need to protect, okay, this manure is keep it covered, okay, don't expose it to sunlight. So it has to be kept covered like this, okay, and don't expose it to sunlight. So or else, okay, most of the nutrients which are there, okay, which is going to go out to sun. Sun will eat off all the nutrients. This is very critical that we understand, okay, that how to protect manure. How we protected soil by growing cover crops? We need to protect manure heaps. You can see there all the heaps are covered in the soil, okay. It's very important that we protect our resources. Soil needs to be protected, manure needs to be protected. This year, summer rains have been exceptionally good, and we started our journey of getting this cover crop growing in preparation to sow ragi crop in the month of July. We started this journey on 15th of April. The summer rains, it starts with Revati and ends with Rohini. And the monsoon, which starts with Mrugashira, it started on, I think, 7th June this time, has been little bit slow. The monsoons have been little bit slow. Today is 25th of June. And monsoon rains have been little bit slow. So this is the reality of farming. While the summer rains were good, we were able to grow good cover crop, and we have put that one back to soil. But when we want to prepare the soil now for upcoming sowing season, that is most probably July last week, maybe less than a month now, okay, approximately a month. Within a month, we need to sow ragi. Rain gods, okay, have been little bit far away. Okay, now we are in Arda, okay, and Mrugashira there were no rains, and Arda there are no rains so far. We expect, okay, today and tomorrow some rain. So this is the reality we need to live. Adjust ourselves how we do farming. It cannot be an Excel sheet. Lot of attempts, okay, to Excel sheetify farming. Oh, this is a sowing. This is one. You do it that day, this day. That never ever works in farming. If you are a farmer, you are farming, you are in the field. You can't sit in an office or you can't sit at your home and do farming. That is the reality of farming.